I thought it might be interesting to review a budget smartwatch or fitness band, so I picked this one up for £10.65 from GearBest. So yes, this is the W810 Smart Band Fitness Tracker for Android or iOS. So amongst the features that this is supposedly equipped with, it's meant to be able to do call and message reminder, calorie consumption, pedometer. It can do reminders, water drinking reminder, remote camera, health sharing, alarm setting. So it's a kind of, it's mainly a fitness monitoring band, but I think it does a little bit of notifications and a little bit of control of the smartphone as well. So let's just open it up and have a look. So the packaging is a little bit Spartan. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got what looks like a charging device of some sort. So interesting how that's configured. It's some sort of clip with a short integrated USB cable. Okay, there's the watch itself, which is made of kind of resilient rubber and clips together with two little lugs that locate, just push fit into that band. Okay, we'll have a closer look at that in a moment. And there's an instruction pamphlet which looks like it might not contain any English at all. Quick start guide. Oh no, beg your pardon. We have got a page of English quick start guide instructions. So I think this will probably need a charge before I can use it. Just peeled the protective film off that lens. It looks quite nice and glossy. Got a little OLED screen in there apparently. And it does a bunch of things. So I'm going to go and put this on charge. I'm going to study the instructions and then we'll come back and have a look at it. But it looks like, so there are two little contacts there. It looks like that clip just goes on there like that to charge it. Perhaps a little bit unwieldy, but this was only £10.65, so we can't expect wireless charging or anything like that from it. Back in a moment then, when we've got this powered up. Okay, so we're going to skip straight from the unboxing to the actual usage of this thing. I thought we'd come back and talk a little bit more after we charged it, but actually I just stopped filming for that day. I charged it up and I've worn this a couple of days now, and here's what I think of it. So the device itself usually switches itself on when you turn your wrist like that, and then you can just press the button on the front and you get to see a whole bunch of things about what you've done. So time and date, or time and day, battery level, weather, number of steps. I've done 6,449 steps today, which is not bad. 2.72 miles, and I have burned 256 calories doing that. I wish my car was that efficient. That can't possibly be my actual heart rate. Let's see if that settles down to something a bit more sensible. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe I've had too much coffee today. And then there's a find function, which if you press and hold that, it will cause the paired device to ring. So that's quite useful if you want to find your phone using the bracelet. You can do the same thing from the app. You can actually find the bracelet from the app. So let's talk a little bit about the app that comes with it. It has an app called Fun-Do Bracelet that comes with it, which allows you to look at your stats and everything on there. And you've got a bunch of other functions as well, where you can set your step target, link up the device and so on. And then supposedly you can have it notify you of different messages from email and Facebook and so on. I haven't actually managed to get this working, and I don't know whether that's just because the Bluetooth on my phone keeps turning off, or whether actually it's I'm doing something wrong, but I haven't managed to get that working. I have given the app permission to communicate, and I have paired it with the device, but it just doesn't seem to actually want to work for notifications. I'm not very bothered about that, and I'm not going to try very much harder either. But there you go, so there's an app. I don't really know. What I didn't find is any way that you can actually look at sort of history about how many steps you've done day to day across the course of a week or a month or whatever. So let's talk about good and bad things. So let's talk about overall impression of this device. Well, first off, I need to say this is a really cheap little device. It's £10, so we need to set our expectations correctly. However, I am still going to talk about some of the good and bad things about this device. It doesn't matter about price point, we're still going to talk about good and bad features, okay? So, good features, it's very comfortable. I hardly knew I was wearing it most of the time. That's a good thing. The battery seems to last a long time, so I've worn it 3 days and the battery is still just under 100%, so it's probably only going to need charging once a week, if that. So yeah, nice little device, and you know, it's unobtrusive, it's functional, and you can access all your information on the fly while you're looking at it. So the not so good things about this, well, the charging. Let's talk about the charging. The charging was just a little bit fiddly, I found. So this little clip they give you for charging it, very short USB cable, and you have to kind of locate it so that those two pins go into those two golden contacts underneath there, and it's just a little bit, what I found, fiddly to get together, but given that you're probably only going to need to do that once a week, not really a big deal. Probably the most disappointing thing about it is actually the quality of the display. So it's a nice little OLED display, but it doesn't live up to the pictures that we saw on the website. It doesn't live up to the marketing images we saw of it. So what I'm going to do, I'll turn that on now. Let's just make it come on. And I will lay that alongside the marketing image, and you can see that the marketing image is actually making that display look a lot more readable than it really is in reality. And the other thing as well is when we look at it sideways on like that, you can see that the screen is actually set under the surface of the display quite considerably, and again, the marketing image did not make it look like that. Tiny little criticism, and I know this is a cheap device, but we're still going to talk about good and bad things regardless of price point. Overall impression, I don't know. This is my first one of these type of devices, so I have not really got anything to judge it by. It seemed like the app was a little bit clunky and a bit difficult to use. I'm not sure that I was able to actually take advantage of all of the features. The device itself is comfortable, seems fairly well made, and yeah, it does the job as well. If all you want is a little thing that tells you how many steps you've done every day, this is actually perfect. It just sits on your wrist, and well, it's a watch most of the time, and then when you want to, you can figure out, you know, how far you've walked that day. So that is the W810 smart bracelet, which I got from GearBest. There'll be a link in the video description if you're interested in buying this on GearBest. That is an affiliate link, so if you click and buy that way, I do make a small commission. If you object to that idea, just Google it up and don't use my links. So that is the W810 Budget Fitness Band. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.